All right. Well, somebody who don't care about being reckless and is still living his life is that damn Dwight Howard. Okay, he's trying to get his sexual assault lawsuit thrown out. Dwight admitted to meeting up with his accuser for a hookup, but says he did not force the man into a threesome. Now, text messages between Dwight and his accuser were leaked. In one of the exchanges, Dwight wrote, "Now, I want you to know I'm not like gay or anything. I'm just a little nasty. Sometimes I don't want to offend you." Now, do you believe Dwight? What do you think about this case, period? Al, let's go to you first.
Well, number one, yes, I believe he did not force that young man. I think that young man wanted Dwight to himself. And when he got there and saw that Dwight required some form or some type of female in that room, he got offended and didn't want to stay. Do I think Dwight Howard is gay? I'll say this. Gay might not be the word that he relates to, but if you're having consensual sex with two men, one being a drag and one being a regular guy, and you're pulling on his penis, you're not straight, young man. But this is a question that I have. This is a question I have, and I want to pose this to Q, because maybe Q, this is more of your specialty. This is not shade anybody, but I want to have the discussion on why is it that men have to have some form of a woman in the room. It could be drag. Obviously, from what this young man said, Miss Kelly or Miss Kitty looked Miss Kitty looked a hot mess. I would love to see those pictures. Why do men like Dwight have to have some form of a woman looking like in the room in order to feel comfortable to have sexual relations with another man, specifically in this case? So either a lot of men have to have a trans woman or they have to have a regular woman. I've been in those situations where men want to be with you, but they have to have a woman in the room, or it has to be a drag like Miss Kitty.
You know what, Al? I cannot succinctly or definitively answer that question. The only thing that I can assume is that for somebody who is still not come to terms with the fact, listen, denial is one hell of a thing. And I think for a lot of people, they can't wrap their head around, oh crap, I'm interacting with a man. And at least if that woman presence is in the room, then it becomes more like he said, I'm not gay, I'm just nasty sometimes. It's just a way, in my opinion, to pacify themselves and to make themselves feel better because they've been indoctrinated in such a way that, it makes them feel uncomfortable. What I find unfortunate about this story is that in order to save his ass from going to jail or being sued for sexual assault, Dwight Howard has been, kind of forced out of the closet per se, for whatever his sexuality is. I definitely believe that sexuality is a spectrum. I definitely do not believe that Dwight Howard is 100% heterosexual, and I don't think he's gay either. I do think that he likes, based on what we're seeing with Miss Kitty and these text messages and tugging on dinglings, that there is something that he likes with men. We've heard the rumors that he's trans attracted, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. What I hope for Dwight is, because at this point, and after this story, bro, nobody whatsoever is believing at this point that you're a heterosexual man. And granted, it's no one's business. But since the verdict is already out on you, Dwight, there's nothing you can say to change people's minds. Go ahead and use this as an opportunity to step into the light, Caroline, and live your truth.
And I think he could do it. Sorry, Claudia.
It's all right. No, I just want to go to some comments. Victoria Hogan said Dwight is just in denial and hasn't come to terms with his sexuality. Nola Curvy Girl said, but for reasons like this, he knew if things got out, having a woman there would soften the blow. I do think that. And again, this is another case of, didn't we talk about a case the other day? If it's something that I have done, I will not go hard and talk about it. When y'all talk about it, I'll just be like, you know what I mean? I think the problem comes when you're a public figure and you so loudly denounce it. That's when people can, as Funky says, spray you with your own tea. But if you just said no comment, it's really none of your business. I don't really speak on that. I prefer not to say. There's plenty of answers you can give without outing yourself and not giving the person what they want. You know what I mean? And it's like, you can't have it both ways, right? Well, I guess you can because you did. So
I guess this is congratulations for him. He's finally coming to terms. He's decided that he no longer wants to deny. and he's saying,
well, he didn't decide that he don't want to go to jail. Okay? He didn't want to go to jail, and he was under oath. So he had to say, yes, I was there.
He's been in these he's been in these positions before, Q. He's been in these positions before where he's been able to
this time it probably looked like he really was finna go. His ass was forced to say, I had sex with him, but it was with consent and not against his will. He was forced into this.
To me, the way that he's admitting it, which is a big deal especially for masculine presenting athlete, black men in America, that means this guy got a whole bunch of receipts that he's like, all right, let me admit to that, because the stuff he's not admitting to is way, way more. I want to just say shout out to Royce, because a lot of people came for Royce and she said something is off with this man, and she was feeling something. And, a lot of people are quick to be like, she just this, she's that, she's bitter. Maybe she never I don't think she ever put that out there that I know of.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he probably gagged, he put a gag order on that poor young lady. But you remember they did a whole documentary. We talked about this before about his teammates. A teammate had come forward and talked about his behavior of grabbing their private parts on several occasions, and they showed video. So, this is nothing new. But I do applaud him for taking this big step. As you said, Claudia, masculine, male, professional athlete, black male, and saying, hey, I did it. And, but it was consensual.
Can we see his picture one more time? That big masculine look. Let me see them lip. Can I see the picture of Dwight real quick? I believe Dwight Howard real quick. Production. Yeah, he's super masculine presenting. That's a yes, lips.
I'm going to shame him now. We're not going to shame him.
If y'all don't go on to the next thing, Claudia.
I'll behave tonight.